So we're going to go off to another question that I've gotten. Have you ever heard of iron ochre? That sounds terrible, doesn't it? Iron ochre. Let me just see where, okay, that's in my pictures here. So if I come in here, this is iron ochre. Cute, isn't it? That's a drain tile around your house. You know, one of those drain tiles, the French drains that go all the way around the house. Come on, bring it up again. Let's take another look at this. What all this stuff is really a slimy, slushy sludge that looks like rust, and in fact that's what it basically amounts to. And it'll totally plug this up, and then you're in trouble. There's no more drain. It can get into all kinds of drain systems, and it's really a pain. What actually is it all about? There's iron in soil, which if it comes into contact with water and air, it turns into iron hydroxide and makes a sludge. If it dries, it gets really flaky. There's another thing, and usually in the same areas, an iron bacterium that's in the water table. And if that the iron bacterium comes into contact with iron in the soil and water, it makes not just a sludge, but it's like jelly. It's like this horrible, gunky jelly. You really think that there's some sort of monstrous thing going on here. And so the question is, what can we do about it? You know, can we stop this? Can we poison it, or what can we do? Well, one of them's a chemical reaction. You can't poison it. And the other one's a bacteriological reaction. And the problem is, when you ask all of the experts, can one eliminate iron ochre or prevent this bacterial growth? The answer is no. If the iron's in the soil, you would have to eliminate the water and the air. Well, I'm sorry, you can't eliminate the water and the air from the soil. So it's going to be there. It's going to happen. So now what we have to do is take a look. Two cases. Well, I haven't built my house yet, but I know when I look in ditches, it all looks that sort of orangey, slimy look. Means there's iron ochre in the area. Or you go to the municipality, they'll know if there's iron ochre. Really important thing is to build differently. Number one, don't build a basement. Just simply don't. You build a slab on grade. You get up above the water so that you don't have those problems deep down. And you build high. So you have to raise your ground level and do your landscaping to keep the water away. So in new construction, it's to avoid getting down to the depths where the iron ochre is there to give you trouble. Now, remedial action, you've already got it and you want to clean it out. That's really tough, but there are people that'll do that. What you usually end up doing is digging out all the way around the house, installing new drain tiles, because you discovered this. By the time you discovered it, the old ones were so plugged up you can't clean them. And when you put in the new ones, one is that you remove a lot of soil, and you're going to fill it back in with granular work. And you're going to put special tubes down that allow you to flush this out regularly. And having the capacity to get in and flush it on a regular basis says, I can't stop it, but I can keep it clean so that all the things work. That same sort of thing you have to do with a sump pump and everything else. So there's a lot of work involved in living with iron ochre. So if you haven't built yet, build higher up so you don't have to do that. Now, I do want to go to one website here to take a look. The Régie de Bâtiment de Québec, in English, would you believe it, has a whole page on iron ochre, and of course they have it in French as well. And this is basically the best information available. So it runs right through what is it, what conditions give rise to it, what are the consequences. You can see how messy that stuff is. What are the consequences of it, and just how you go about it, even coming down to some details of construction of what to do about it. And rights and recourse, they say there's really nothing. It's the laws of nature that have got you here. Unless you could prove that the builder knew it was troublesome land and he didn't tell you, maybe you can get him on that.